Good morning and welcome to Universalist Church, in which love is the Spirit. We are so glad you are here, whether you're here in the sanctuary today or anywhere in the world on our live stream. I'm Steve Lieben, one of your representatives on the Board of Trustees. If you are a visitor, welcome, and we hope you'll sign one of our guest books at either entrance to the sanctuary or visit our webpage, westhartforduu.org, to learn more about our community. There, you can use the contact page to get onto our electronic mailing list, which is the best way for us to stay connected. We look forward to helping you become part of the Universalist Church community. Every first Sunday of the month, newcomers and visitors are invited to grab some refreshments and come to the parlor around 11:15 for an informal introduction and Q&A session. You'll walk through the hallway, intersection behind the chancel, turn left, and go to the green room at the end. Please join us. Today, we'll have a fellowship in Fisk Hall and through Zoom. If you need help finding your way to Fisk Hall for our fellowship hour, any member of the church will be happy to guide you. Just look for someone wearing a Universalist Church name tag, or me. And you can find the link for Zoom fellowship in your weekly news or our Breeze calendar. If you aren't getting the weekly news, please do sign up for it on our website. And now, I invite you to take a moment to make your mobile phone silent, turn off the email, and put away your keyboards, and let's settle in for worship.
Good morning, everyone. If we haven't met yet, I'm the Reverend Dianne M. Pleased to be serving this congregation again as your guest preacher on this Sunday morning. Our call to worship is entitled Here to Transform by Reverend David Britten. Welcome to this place where certainty transforms into questions. This place that takes what is and imagines what can be. Welcome to this space where what was fixed begins to shift, where rigidity embraces unfolding as we join in the dance of transformation. Welcome to this moment of change where together we transfigure and transcend together. Come, let us worship together. If you have a home chalice and you have not done so yet, please light it. Our chalice lighting this morning is entitled May This Flame and was written by Betts Weinecke. May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage as we seek what is good within and around us. Our opening hymn this morning is number 1 in the gray hymnal. Please rise in body or in spirit here in the sanctuary or wherever you are as we sing together, May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. Our affirmation, our covenant, as printed in the order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please be seated, everyone. Good morning to you again on this sticky August Sunday morning. I keep my faith that fall is coming. This part of summer is not my favorite part of the season, but it's better than that S word that we shall not mention. Our time for ages, this time for all ages this morning, I brought you a story called The Stream. It's a Sufi story. A stream from its course in the far-off mountains, passing through every kind and description of countryside, at last reached the ends of the desert. Just as it had crossed every other barrier, the stream tried to cross this one, but its waters disappeared as fast as it ran into the sand. It was convinced, however, that its destiny was to cross the desert, and yet there was no way. Now a hidden voice coming from the desert itself whispered, "The wind crosses over the desert, and so can the stream." The stream objected that the wind could fly, and this was why it could cross a desert. By hurtling in your own accustomed way, you cannot get across. You will either disappear or become a marsh. You must allow the wind to carry you over to your destination. But how could this happen? By allowing yourself to be absorbed by the wind. This idea was not acceptable to the stream. After all, it had never been absorbed before. It did not want to lose its individuality, and having lost it, how was one to know that one's identity could ever be regained? "The wind," said the sand, "performs this function. It takes up water, carries it over the desert, and then lets it fall again." "But how can I know this is true?" asked the stream. "It is so, and if you do not believe it, you cannot become more than a quagmire." "But can I not remain the same stream that I am today?" "You cannot, in either case, remain so," the whisper said. When the stream heard this, echoes began to arise in its thoughts. Dimly, it remembered a state in which, or some part of it, had been held in the arms of a wind. And the stream raised its vapor into the welcoming arms of the wind, which gently and easily bore it upwards and along, letting it fall softly as rain once they reached the roof of a mountain many, many miles away, where it then became a river. How many times have we resisted transformation? Because of fear of the unknown, or because we didn't see the exact path forward, or just perhaps because we had forgotten how it was that we were able to change, to transform. What winds have been present in our lives to carry us forward? What have we absorbed? What has become a part of us that has empowered us to change who we are and become something different, yet the same? As we move forward in our perfectly imperfect lives, we must be ready to evaluate and accept the path of change. It might be clear and stretch in front of us like a road and a clearly marked map, or it might require us to become different and change who we are or who we think we are. Consider taking a different path than the one you're accustomed to, the one you've been hurtling along in your own accustomed way. Allow what you've absorbed to empower you to change who you are. Be open to becoming different and yet the same. Our voluntary offering, the sharing of our resources for our shared work as a religious community, is a spiritual practice for us. By offering your time, talent, and treasure to this community, you help us serve the members, friends, and wider community of this congregation. As part of that service, we share our general offering each week with organizations that do work in the world that brings us ever closer to becoming and creating the beloved community. This month, we share our plate with UU the Vote. UU the Vote is an initiative created by the Unitarian Universalist Association Side with Love team, providing UUs an easy way to engage and bring our democratic values to life in the crucial struggle to build a genuine multiracial democracy. UU the Vote engages people in voter registration, issue education, get out the vote drives, voter protection, state leadership development, and more. UU the Vote does year-round work building a truly inclusive democracy. To give electronically, you can use the QR code on the order of service, the links in the service description, or those on our website to make your donation to our offering. Here in the sanctuary, our offering will now be gratefully received. May these gifts you've given so generously sustain the work we do together, the life of this community, and the wider world of which we are a part. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. Please rise in body or spirit as we speak our congregational reading at number 468 in the gray hymnal. I will speak the words in Roman type, and we will speak together the words in italics. This reading is titled, "We Need One Another." We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted. We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another in the hour of success when we look for someone to share our triumphs with. We need one another in the hour of defeat when with encouragement we might endure and stand again. We need one another when we come to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. Let's join in singing our Doxology, also I believe printed in the order of service, but y'all know this one. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. We celebrate with Sarah and Matt E. as they mark their 20th wedding anniversary on the 21st. We wish many more years of life, love, and happiness to Sarah E., Peggy G., Justin B., and Patrice F. as they all celebrate birthdays this month. Our hearts, blessings, and best wishes go to Walt G. on his recovery. Karen H. has returned to work and expresses gratitude for all the calls and notes that buoyed her spirit during her recovery. We express sympathy and send strength to Mike and Sherry E.S.'s family, as well as Hannah and Ben G. as they mourn the losses of beloved elders earlier this summer. We send strength, light, and love to Beth B. and Tracy W. as they continue dealing with Tracy's long-term illness. They are very appreciative of the congregation's love and support. To all of our congregation members who are working through challenges, we send you strength. We are thinking of you, and we love you. For congregation members not present who are celebrating joy, our hearts leap with joy with you. Enjoy your happiness. Draw it out as long as you can, and share it as widely as you feel comfortable. Please join me now. You may remain seated for Spirit of Life. Spirit of Life. Is Jordan Strom in the house this morning? All right. Would you please? That would be completely awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our reading this morning is a letter from our better angels by Reverend Sean Parker Dennison. Dear one, we have received your letter, and we hate to tell you, not hate so much, but are a bit afraid to say, we cannot grant your requests as stated, but can only remind you of familiar things. First, faith. Faith in yourself and trust in others. We know it can be terrifying to be vulnerable, but only when you share your softest side will we be able to break through. Next, hope. Hope is not an empty fairy tale. It is the true story of all the times human beings like you have found a way to create the future, though you didn't know how. And of course, love. Love that demands that you cherish all people, not just yourself and safety. Love that is not satisfied until every argument ends abruptly when one child says, "That hurts." There is so much to learn and relearn. The world teaches you to be hard, to negotiate and defend, to avoid giving too much and to the wrong people. There are no wrong people. You also are not wrong, and when you encounter the poor, the broken, the unhoused, and unwelcome, you are looking, if you pay attention, at us, calling to you, calling you to answer your own prayers. If you want to change the world, first, be sure you are changing yourself. Be tender. Be kind. Be at peace. Be all the things you wish for. Be your own better self. It isn't without cost, but it will be free.
Adapting to a changing world, growing spiritually and ethically. So, what does it mean to transform? When we transform, we're adapting to the changing world. We ourselves are in a constant state of transformation. Does that sound a little unusual to you? Transformation can be defined as a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance, a metamorphosis that during the life cycle of a living creature or animal, kind of like what a caterpillar undergoes to become a butterfly or an infant to become an adult, but definitely not on the same time schedule. I believe the key is to making a thorough or dramatic change so that the thing or person is improved. A simple or easy change is not enough to represent the spirit of transformation. Create a vision of who you want to be. If you're unhappy where you are in life and feel it necessary and or desirable to transform, it could be that you haven't created or achieved the right clear vision of yourself that's needed. Change is almost never easy, And if you're not clear about what you want to change and why, it becomes exponentially more difficult. Waffling about changes and which ones to make will slow your progress and end up frustrating you. Think back to recent thoughts you've had about your life in general or about a specific situation that you want to transform. Were they negative thoughts or feelings like you've hit a roadblock? Are you feeling as if you made steps along the path of change, but you're not progressing forward and you're kind of just standing still? Shift your focus to the life that you want, the situation you want to experience, maybe a new or better job, returning to school, a better, more positive relationship, or a person that you want to become. This exercise will help you narrow down and laser focus on the goal ahead of you, the reason for your transformation. I'm undergoing a transformation as we speak. At my heaviest, I weighed 265 pounds. You guys didn't know me then. But I am now under 190. On my way to my eventual goal of 165, 170. That could be considered a transformation. And I had really good reason to do it. I've got a family history of high blood pressure and heart disease. When people see me walking in my neighborhood, they often ask, well, why are you out here every day? And I tell them, without joking, I'm walking for my life. If I'm not careful, if I don't take good care of myself, I could become another statistic in my family, and I'm determined not to be that. So I shifted my focus to the life I wanted, the fact that I want to be around to watch my grandchild grow up, to the fact that I love being a great auntie, and I want to see my great nephew grow up. I had to make some serious changes. And some of the people I admire, dare I call them my idols, have done something similar. If you want to live like an idol of yours, read about how they became a success and use that guideline to help you accomplish something similar. A recent quiz by an internet entrepreneur asked participants, who is your multi-million-dollar kindred spirit, and how does that translate into you earning money online? The idea behind the quiz is to analyze your answers to a set of questions that will tell you which traits you share with one or more or several high-achieving, high-earning, successful entrepreneurs. The quiz answers directed you toward a specific method of marketing and promotions that will help you earn more and create a higher level of success in your business. The goal in this case is to read your report and take the next step to become more like your kindred spirit. If you want to enjoy a specific situation, read about how others you resonate with have found success in creating and sustaining that situation. Memoirs are very popular reading selections for this reason. Reading about how someone you admire or someone who has conquered a challenge you face can inspire you with new avenues of thought and new methods to win. The self-help industry is fertile ground for learning how other people have conquered challenges. There's no end to the inspiration, and some authors even have step-by-step plans to help you get there. When you create a positive, desirable image in your mind, it will set up neural pathways to help you reach your goals. The more you reinforce this mental image, the more pathways will be created. If there's information available that you can find online that'll help you with your vision, use it to your advantage. To help avoid information overload, compare your resources and information against those of your example. taking on a business development plan that requires a 5-figure bankroll and 2 advanced business degrees may not be the best place to begin when you're a high school graduate working an entry-level 9-to-5 job. Choosing an example who started with a similar background to yours and examining their steps to success will likely lead you toward a path that you'll see as more achievable and that will help keep you motivated to keep working toward your goal. One of my visions when I was a brand new baby minister, not that I'm all that old now, I'd consider myself a toddler, maybe right around this time, I found people in the faith who I admired, who were doing the same thing I wanted to do. One of those people is our now president of the denomination, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. We knew her when she was still studying for her doctorate, and she was studying at Yale, so we got to see quite a bit of her in Norwich. She guest preached for us quite a bit. If I looked at Reverend Dr. Sophia now and said, I want to be just like her, I want to be Reverend Dr. Daniels someday, I need to remember that she started out as Sophia. She was not always a reverend. Then she became a reverend, and she worked hard, and she kept studying, and she kept advancing. And soon, she was beyond just reverend. Now she is Reverend Doctor. I love her title. I love to use her entire title. She teases me that I don't have to do that because she considers us friends, and I am blessed by her being in my life. But I think she earned her title. So she is Reverend Dr. Madam President whenever I get a chance. When you've determined your vision and the steps you believe will help you get there, continue to see that vision in your mind's eye. Do this daily, and you can reinforce your vision with affirmations to help train your mindset and journal entries to help explore your emotions during your transformation process. Even before I became Reverend Daniels, people were calling me the Rev. And I kind of discouraged it at first because I said, well, yeah, guys, I'm not there yet. They said, but we are speaking into existence those things that have not yet come to completion. I said, okay, you believe that for me? You see that for me? I'll accept it. And gradually it got a little more comfortable and a little more comfortable. And that mindset shift, I believe, helped me get to where I am now. Your brain will become so used to this vision that it'll become a subconscious process. It'll feel like a normal and natural part of your life instead of something you're trying to shoehorn into your established pattern. Now, this isn't to say you can't alter your plan or your vision. There may be something you thought you wanted, but as you progress and get closer to it, you find your vision has sharpened, more details come to light, and what you formerly wanted is no longer your driving motivation. Hear me, there's nothing wrong with that. If this happens, create another vision or alter your existing one and move on from there. Your brain is so flexible and so powerful, it'll form a pathway for the new vision. If your vision is fine, but your plan's not getting you where you need to be, don't be afraid to make changes. Plans are guidelines only. Writing them in stone is a mistake. They can and should change as needed. This can happen when new information comes to light along the way, information that wasn't available when you first started. Be prepared for criticism while creating this new vision for yourself. It's yours and yours alone. People, your friends, family, loved ones, even those who overall support you, may not understand what you are trying to achieve. Hold tight to your beliefs and prove them wrong. Your critics are not the ones who have to live with the vision you make for yourself. You are. When you reach your goals, those critics will suddenly be on your side, They'll even claim to have been there for you all along and might even claim to have helped you achieve your goal. Running joke in my family is that those who didn't necessarily believe in you all along, well, you'll get to a certain point and they'll start telling everybody, I raised that child, because they want credit for what you've become. Let them go ahead. It's annoying, but that's how people behave. It's not worth the aggravation. Just move on with your vision and let them think whatever they want. The power of letting go. We tend to latch on to the familiar, even if it causes us pain. This can keep us involved in unhealthy situations for too long. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we need to learn how to let go. It could be a personal relationship that's holding you back. You may feel guilty about severing ties with the person or people involved because you've been in the situation for a long time. This could refer to a lover, a friend, or a family member. These people become dependent on you in ways that prevent you from living the life you truly want. Clearly, this is not ideal. It can be a situation at work as well. Either the people you work with or maybe the company itself is holding you back. You stick with it because you believe it's the only option you have. Even saying that just doesn't feel right, even if it's making you miserable. If you need to let go of situations or people that are holding you back, here's a way to do that. Write out a list of pros and cons on a sheet of paper or in a new electronic document. If the cons list is longer than the pro list, that should convince you it's time for a change. Many of us find change difficult to handle, but it's one aspect of life that will always, always be there. Why not embrace it for the better? It brings to mind the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. One situation that people have a difficult time in removing themselves from is hiring friends for their business. Certain expectations that the friend assumes apply to the working relationship can make a situation awkward. The person who hired the friend may need to take actions that will affect the friendship. This is why many employment experts strongly discourage the practice. Don't hire friends or go into business with them. Under these circumstances, the friendship will be exposed to risk. Letting go is never easy, but it can be incredibly freeing. It gives you the ability to start life on your terms. It may not be a popular decision, and in some cases, as with family, you won't be able to break completely away, but it can help you achieve the happiness you desire. By taking appropriate actions, you will often find the people who were dependent on you actually become happier themselves through your actions. So here's another sort of an interesting and maybe difficult question. Are we even capable of personal transformation? People seem to want changes in their lives. They want a new career, they want to be able to lose weight, or simply do something different they've never done before. They want to go through some personal transformation. But is it even possible for us to transform? Think about the number of times you've made New Year's resolutions. Were any of them successful? Many people simply stop creating them because they know it's an exercise in futility. Then there are people who try to lose weight repeatedly. That would be me. They try one diet after another, and after a few months, gain some or all of the pounds back and suffer from self-recrimination and blame. On the other end of the spectrum are people who have overcome major obstacles and have thrived, never looking back from their new situations. Could some of us be wired differently than others? Most people can transform their lives. If that weren't true, there'd be far fewer success stories in this world, But it depends on how badly people want to make the change. Sometimes people simply aren't ready for change, let alone a transformation. Your environment also plays a huge role in determining success in implementing changes. Staying involved with negative thinking people who discourage change is going to make it very difficult to succeed. If you truly want to transform, align yourself with people who want to see you succeed and maybe even help you succeed. People are different. No two of us are exactly alike, right? Even identical twins, yes? Some people can create transformations easily and without any help or encouragement from others. They have strong wills and keep going until the change becomes part of their lives. Others need more help and encouragement, and that's perfectly normal. Your upbringing will be a contributing factor in how well you adapt to change. If your parents preferred the status quo, you may find it difficult to implement changes at first. Bear in mind, though, there are plenty of people who break away from the mold of their families and make changes despite their family background. The best advice you should follow is never give up. If something doesn't work out, try something else, or look at and analyze the situation in a different way. Learn from your mistakes and failures and continue pushing forward until you are where you want to be. Determination and persistence are your biggest allies when making your transformations. Never let anyone stand in the way of something you truly desire. Truthfully, it's never easy. If it were, everyone would easily accomplish change, and change would not be scary. Our revised Article 2 states, "We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically." Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. The expectation to grow, change, and develop is part of our UU tradition and heritage, and we should welcome the opportunity to always wonder, deepen, and explore together in our beloved community. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, number 89 in the gray hymnal. Benediction. Engage with the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. Please be seated and remain for our postlude, and have a wonderful week ahead.